Hello and welcome. And we're gonna start with what looks like 8 car qualifying. For the prototypes, it might be more, might be less. I'm not sure how many of them job today. Looks like we have 8 cars ready to go. So if we start going through the prototype grid for today and introduce the drivers, the LMP1 is consists entirely of Porsche 919. 4 Porsches today have JK, who is setting blazing fast laps all day in practice. Let's see if he can manage to get one more in qualifying today. He is obviously the Sebring 2 hours, or well, Sebring 1.5 hours, as the race got red flag. He was the overall winner of that race, and he'll try to keep it going once again. He is also joined by Maxi, Junsis, and McLaren Tim, who was the GTE winner in Sebring 2 hours. This time he's upgrading to LMP1, and we'll see how great his performance is. We are also joined by 4 LMP2 drivers. Nemedis, Viperian Games, the reigning champion in LMP2 class, and Mr. Grinder, who was a runner-up in GP last time around. These 8 drivers now have 15 minutes to figure out what they want to do with the car, where they want to go, and, well, set one fast lap. Gonna have the first times coming in really soon as the drivers heading towards the warm-up laps right about now. The circuit is just over 4 kilometers long, 4.318 kilometers long for those of you counting, or 2.683 miles long for those of you using the wrong system. We have 10 turns, in reality 8, but who's counting? 7 rights and 3 lefts. So you gotta try to set up your car for those right turns while still not neglecting the other 2 tires you have on your wagon. So for LMP1, no data exists for the actual fastest laps, so we'll see how the drivers will set the bar in qualifying and whether they are gonna reach that bar later in the race. For the LMP2, the 2018 Red Bull Ring data reads 1 minute 19.246 fastest qualifying lap. We'll see if our 4 Oricas are gonna beat that time. The first laps are gonna be coming in any second now, when we will switch to the driver cameras in just a moment. or gonna help it a little bit. Go, first time started coming in. McLaren Tim is claiming pole for now with 1:13.867. This is a great time for the American. JK just 1/10 behind currently. We'll see what he'll be able to do. James posts a 1:26.2. Here with answers with a 1:29.6. So those are the two classes that will be fighting today. Obviously LMP1 miles and miles ahead of everyone else on pace. We'll see what they'll be able to provide. Let's just dive into our qualifying pace. We have a few people already in the stream, so while the drivers are trying to navigate their way for the first times this racing weekend around Red Bull Ring, which is being debated like non-existent runways, which are never gonna happen on terrain like this, because this is a very hilly terrain, and if your plane is about to take off from here, you're having big problems. Jesus Christ, people are already complaining about the van. It took about 2 minutes. Alright guys. Christ. You people. Alright, back to qualifying. 1:13.5 is current fastest time for McLaren Tim. Almost half a second back at the time of 1:13.9 is Maxi. Not exactly the fastest driver right now. He posts 1:4.6 and produces in his very questionable LMP1 entry. Is currently third if it decides to show it. He is currently posting 1:14.1, and this lap might actually be invalidated, just as you see here as he rides the curves. Never mind. So the results on the table is validated results. I have all the laps on my super thick side view. Show Gunsis posting faster laps, but I'm not they're gonna count. Games the fastest LMP2 car so far with 1:26.2 time. Viperian is 1.3 seconds back, and right behind Viperian is Ennis. These two drivers are just about 1/10 behind each other, as this is a great moment to see Viperian, who is so back. 1:27.573, which means he's currently 0.02 of a second ahead of Viperian in this qualifier with half of a gun. Let's disregard James being miles ahead of everyone. These two are going head to head, and ow, this is close. This is probably close. Back to LMP1, McLaren Tim posts 315 kilometers an hour speed trap result, going for yet another fast lap. He's currently 100th of a second back of his own time. Let's see if he can improve in sector 2. He exits turn 3, the right hand hairpin, to proceed on the back straight, which apparently has a turn somewhere in the middle of it. as he approaches turn number 4. Cross gold, which is a double head. Oh, he goes just wide, and that lap is no bueno as he hits the gravel trap. And I guess he's gonna reset. Let's see if JK posts a good lap. It is good, but it's not good enough. 300ths of a second back from McLaren Tim. Yikes. This is still close, but still no cigar. Kunz is currently still posting in 3rd, while the table not picking it up for some reason. Can adjust that as the time goes. He's currently placed in 3rd place. Again, not sure if he's all his laps counted, as we can see that his definition of track limits is quite creative. 1:14.1 does not improve his time right here, as he goes for yet another lap in his Porsche 919. Has a little bit more electric oomph than the previous year car. Let's see if it's gonna help him any. And again, second sector. Much tighter turn 4 compared to the old circuit of Österreich, which would go all the way around that gravel trap to rejoin a right ear back on track. So it was more of a sweepy turn compared to what it is now. Then goes for turn 6 and 7, the double left-hander. You see right here, Park actually back all the way to turn 2, which currently second straight on the track. It will on wide all the way there to come back into turn 7. So it was a very interesting flowy circuit. Now it has a little bit of a rough braking, but still. There we go! Kunz finally posts a valid lap, which puts him officially in 3rd place, as he's 0.6 of a second behind 2 leaders who are still toe-to-toe him with the fastest lap of 1:13.3. JK just a little bit behind as he is finishing his warm-up lap to go on yet another flyer. Let's see if he can improve to the first, going into turn 1, Castrol Edge turn. Pace within the limit. Those sausage curbs are evil. They will chew you up and spit you out. Goes through turn 2 hard, heavy, breaking it to turn 3. You cannot make a mistake or you're gonna be very familiar with that countryside on the outside of a turn. Going on to the back straight towards turn 4 and the second sector, tactical sector. A little bit of brake lock. No severe drama for JK so far as he navigates turn 6, 7 and 8 in the second sector complex. It could be a little bit liberal with that because we see he's 2/10 back on the lead time. It's not good unless he pulls a miracle here. It's not gonna be good enough. Enters turn 9, sprint into turn 10, Red Bull Mobile turn, exits onto the main straight with a lot of boosties, hopefully. Sprinted towards the start-finish line, not good enough, he's faster. He's just 0.16 back, so he was 600ths faster than Tim's time in Sector 3. He just needs to improve, well, everywhere else basically. Here is James for yet another attempt on his LMP2 lead. A little bit of wobble into turn 9, as I don't think this lap would count. Even if it will, it's probably not gonna be the fastest as he posts 1:26, God knows what, which is not good enough. That's 1:26 flat as the best time. And he made us improve further for just 18.9 games currently as he posts 6.8 Hyperion, but not by much. Hyperion has posted many laps, just 5 fast laps and 7 laps for both rival Oricas. We have one Orica not yet. Mr. Grinder. I'm not sure what's up with him. He's definitely not on track currently. Right now we'll have more info as the day goes on, definitely. Okay, so he was apparently kicked from a server as I'm getting. There are some technical difficulties on the side of the drivers as we have just over a minute left in the qualifying session. Games is meanwhile, JK is in the pits, but we missed a very vital turning point here as he finally managed to snatch the pole position from Tim. He posted at 13.177 while we were trying to figure out what is going on with Grinder, and he took the lead. Tim is now 2/10 back. Let's see. We will have one more lap to get the position back as we have 30 seconds left on the clock as he starts yet another lap, his final lap here. Let's see. JK, Maxi, and Nimatis all in the pits. They're not gonna post another lap. We have 4 drivers still going at it. Baron Tim for the first sector marker. He's faster than JK by 0.04 of a second. He needs to keep that gap. He rises the sausage a little bit. That's not gonna improve his time, but he might just get away with it. He runs towards turn 4. Schlossgold into the right-hander, a little bit of a sweeper. It is longer than you think. You cannot overdrive it, or you will meet the grass and gravel on the outside. Into turn 6, Brown. Turn 7, Worth curve. There is a car in front of him. He's 300ths back. He lost 10th here. It's still all to play for as he leaves everything on the track. There is no more space to give. He's going into 9. Rint. Just one more turn. He has to just fly into it and now push the magic boosties button. Will he be able to beat 113.177? And the answer is no. He posted 113.4, unable to beat his own time. And that is all she wrote for LMP qualifying. We have JK on pole, followed by McLaren, Tim, Gunses, and Maxi. And for LMP2 field, gonna have James followed by Nimatis and Viperian. That's all she wrote for LMP car qualifying. We're gonna need a few minutes before we can proceed with the G quali. Now, taking you non-stop. Of course we have. Welcome back to Phoenix Racing Club action. 2 hours of Red Bull Ring qualifying underway. We are about to start the 15-minute qualifying for the GT traffic. We have way more cars in this category. We are gonna have up to 18 cars on track right now, so they're gonna try to get cozy right here with each other and see if they can find some space to just get a qualifying lap in. GTE and GTLM Pro and GTLM amateur classes are somewhat similar in pace here. There is not a huge gap pace-wise between the two, and not enough of a straight to compensate for it. Hold on. I'm being shouted at currently. Okay, is this good enough? Hope it's good enough. Is it good enough? I'll assume it's good enough until further notice. Well, it's damn lot that loud and obnoxious. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'll make those people even quieter. I didn't make myself louder, I made the game quieter. But these motherfuckers are revving the car up. Just doing donuts on the pit lane. What am I supposed to do with that? I can't outchat the GT3. Alright, I made it even quieter, so it should be fine now. I hope it's fine. Yeah, you see when they pass right underneath me, it's difficult to say anything. Alright, we are in overtime. That means we are about to go green for the 15 minutes of qualifying for the GT drivers. And I actually do have a list of GT drivers in front of me, which is the first time I actually prepared for this thing, believe it or not. So we have 8 pro drivers. I mean, pros they can get, yes. We have a Photon Burst. I'm trying to read what I wrote. It's not really easy to do. Photon Burst, who is the runner-up in V8 Supercars series, so he has some pace in him. We also have Than, Herb, Trampale, Cranker, KRS-One, Walker, who was that second place in GT Pro when the service went kaput in Sebring, and Freaky Eye Boy YTS Walker just decided to disconnect from the server. Right. Okay, this is going well for everyone involved. This is fun. Oh, we are supposed to have 2 Corvettes today. Yeah, 2 Corvettes are supposed to be Trampel and Burb. I don't see... Okay, I do see Burb on the track for now. He's listed as Porsche. He might have stolen someone else's Porsche. So we'll see how it goes. And we have 10 GT AM drivers who are the GT3 winner at Sebring, Echo 51, joined by Neon Tiger, Psychedelic, Spartan, Artery Vase, JD14, Supreme Taco, Joe Gamer, Zeldaran, and Decker are listed as our entries right now. The GTAM field is quite vast, if I say so myself. We have 2 Porsche 911s, 2 Ferrari 488s, 4 Audis, 1 Mercedes AMG, and 1 big boy Nissan GTR as well. So we're gonna be all over the place here. We'll see if well, the GTR can turn. Speaking of GTR, there it is. Completely missing turn 1, as expected. From the chat we've been able to pick up in the practice sessions, Corvette is all kinds of loose on this track. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not sure it will. Hope it does. Could be a little bit louder. I can't win with you guys, can I? I like the questions being currently asked in certain JD14 stream, who is our old friend NCWG, the alter ego. And yes, didn't take us a long time to figure that out. So hello NCWG, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you back in racing, and no need to hide, mate. You are still welcome here, and will always be. Right, well, I'll just stop myself right here and not go anywhere further. This is going off the rails real fast. At least it's not the electric Corvette this time around. They managed to put an actual engine inside of it right now, which is good update, I guess. As we have our first time piling in, we have Rick Ibot, who posts 129.7, which is good 2 seconds faster than literally everybody else. This is gonna go well. We might have a winner right here. Yikes. Right. Okay, so NCWG or JD14. I have no idea how to call him now. I'm gonna call him what I see here, JD14. 1.5 seconds back. He's in different class. He's in AM entry at 131.2, followed by. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out the valid times here. Some of the times were invalidated. Artery at 131.8, behind him in Decker at 131.86 in a Ferrari entry. Spartan at 131.9, and there we go, another GT entry of Photon Burst takes the GT pole away. Oh, Trampo is on with it. Looks like we have 15 cars on track at the moment. More show up. Looks like if this is all we get, we are looking at now 22 car field in this race. Quite exciting, if I say so myself. I'm 31. Posed by JD14, which is not his fastest time just yet. We'll see if he can improve on another of his hot laps. We'll have a car ahead. That is gonna be either Numedos or Echo. I don't even distinguish between them at this point. Souped up Beetle, it says on his car. Souped up, but in the wall currently. As we go back to AD14. Dropping down the pecking order a little bit, as Psychedelics was able to post 130.8, taking the GT3 lead. Well, GT3, GTAM. I am gonna confuse these names throughout the race. Not act surprised as we see the fields slowly sort themselves out as we speak. Looks like everybody but Burp his Porsche are able to get themselves ahead of the GTAM. And amongst themselves, Walker puts a fast lap at 129.2, moving Photon back to the second place. JD with a creative line right here through the last turn, completely cutting it. Let's see if he's gonna be allowed to keep that spot. No. Going for yet another run. Improves at the start. Whoa, that's a mad slide into turn 2 by the Audi driver. That's not going to improve his time at all. Which back to looks like the only Corvette in the field now. So that's gonna be real interesting. He made us complaining that he is in LMP2 now and being mentioned. Look, you two dates are basically interchangeable. So I am technically correct. Both leaders in the pits right now. Walker improved even further to 128.8. So now Photon is gonna find some grip everywhere to be able to improve his time. Trempel is not gonna be going much faster right now. Freaky Eyebot post 129.6, improving further but not by much as Photon rejoins the track. See if he's able to beat his time. He's currently on the warm-up lap. Walker this and Neon Tiger, the Ferrari, finally posts a valid time, which puts him in 5 in the PTAM field. Time of 131.5. And it instantly gets beaten by a couple of guys. Psychedelics just gets 130.593, which gets him back on pole of Multiclass. That's the post advantage. What? Photon is about to start his flying lap with just over 5 minutes to go in the GTE qualifying session as he crosses the start-finish line right about now. We'll see. He needs to beat 128 something if it stays there, I guess. I'm not sure how the return will affect. We'll have some more information. Looks like we have the time saved, but it's not going to show up in the leaderboard as the driver is in the garage currently. Lots of drivers are in the pits waiting for their final attempt at the qualifying as Photon keeps going now in turn 5 and now heading towards 6 and 7, the double left-hander. Basically the only proper left-handers on the entire circuit. It's difficult to set up for. They're not normal left-handers. The curbs on the outside are quite big. So if you attack it just wrong, it will unsettle the car, and if your car is not set up to handle those turns, it might be all kinds of trouble. As Photon currently exits the final 10th and final turn with a run towards the start-finish line. Let's see if he can improve. 128.8. No, he does not. Not the greatest of times right here. A couple of cars on the run. Freaky Eyebot is gonna be start his timed lap right about now. He is just a 10th behind of third place Trempel and 3/10 behind Photon, who is in turn almost half a second back from the leader. The number 88 Porsche 911 entry. Heading towards turn 2 kink and into turn 3 he goes. Just 1/10 back of the fastest time. If he's able to match the leader's pace, he might be able to salvage something. Meanwhile, Neon Tiger sets 130.5, which puts him on the provisional pole for the GT3. Psychedelics is in the pits. He will need to answer. He right there, 500s back, but he will need an even better lap to get his pole position back. Still in the pits. We'll see if he will leave. He'll need about 2 minutes to get around. So if in half a minute he's still in the pits, I'm not sure he'll be able to put a lap in. But get another fast lap. That is 131 flat, which puts him third. And Photon does a 129 flat, which puts him 2/10 behind the leader right now. Great effort by the Dutchman. Let's see what Freaky Eyebot is able to do. He needs to beat 128.8. He's tuned towards the start-finish line. He posts 129.5. It is his fastest lap, but it's not good enough to beat the top 3 currently. Psychedelics still in the pits. I'm not sure he's gonna go for another lap. I don't think he is going. Neon Tiger, meanwhile, is he gonna be going for the final attempt at it? Looks like, but there's a lot of wheel hop from the Ohio resident. See if he's able to do something. Artery, Echo, Psychedelics, Cranker, and Freaky Eyebot all in the pits, and the qualified is done for those drivers. He who is aware Champale is attempting yet another run. JD14 is in the middle of the track. He needs to get another 3/10 to get towards Psychedelics and a Neon Tiger. His final attempt. So far he clocked the most laps out of the entire GT3 field. He has 9 laps going for his 10th timed lap. Let's see if quantity will transfer to quality for him, as he might have another run after this one. Let's see how fast he is coming out of the last turn. He's still cutting it like mad, not having any shame whatsoever about it. He posts 1:39, which is 1:10 behind his fast lap. He'll have one more final attempt. He extends the track crazy. I'm not sure that's a great tactic here. And that's qualifying done for him. Burp in his Porsche. The late switch from a Corvette to Porsche for the Brit. And Burp will have to get a lap down. Currently he is in the middle of the GTAM field on pace. He will obviously get transferred higher, but not a great look for him right here. In his final attempt to salvage something from it, the Brit will need to at least 130.4, which is almost another second higher to gain a position. Or Burp needs to get another 7/10 to at least beat the GT3 field right here. We'll see. Oh, no, that's a gravel tap, and that's the qualifying done. Neon Tiger with the final attempt. Coming onto the back straight, 2 more turns to go. Ring turn 9, the right-hander, downhill, fast, brutal, no chance to make a mistake going wide, and the final turn, 1 wheel on the white line, cut as much as possible. Coming onto the start-finish straight. Is there an improvement of the time? And the answer is yes! Neon Tiger boasts 129.8. Crazy fast time from the American, as he even beats the KRS-One GT Pro entry. Brilliant performance by the Take This Ferrari GTAM entry. Great drive, as we are done with qualifying here. I think everybody's done. Echo is gonna be fine. I think the time expired when he went there. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see. We'll see if able to post. Currently like miles behind everyone. No, that's the timeout. Never. So that's the qualifying done for both classes. The field is now gonna take a little bit of cool down time to prepare for the race, and in just about 10-15 minutes we're gonna be live with the green flag at Red Bull Ring. Please grab a cup of your favorite hot beverage, grab an extra blanket, and we'll see you all here soon. Welcome back. We have a lot of downtime before we go green. But now we'll try to reach a few drivers to see what to think about the upcoming race after the qualifying. At our three. Oh, there, this is broadcast booth. Do you hear me? Not working. See if we can perhaps. Hello there from a broadcast booth. Do you hear me?
Hey, Georgian.
Hello. So that qualifying, very tense battle between you and JK.
Uh-huh.
Trading fast laps back and forth. So in Sebring, he was able to run away with it. Do you think you're gonna be able to hang on with him and get him this time?
No. I don't know. I think quali was pretty good. I think I did my best, personal best in qualifying. I kind of know where he gained extra time on me, but again, I'm just gonna have to. I'd have to spend way more time to figure out, like, where he's faster. But I think I'm pretty happy with the result. In the race, I don't really know. I'm mostly looking just to finish. If I can, like, sort of maintain a gap to him, that'd be great. But we'll just see what happens. I'm mostly hoping just to make it clean, um, clear the traffic, and yeah.
Okay, any particular strats you would care for turn one? Are you gonna try to just cover off the second row, or try to get the leader into what is inevitably gonna be a clusterfuck into uh, sausage curb and off track right there?
I think I'll try to hold my position, and then I'll see what happens from there.
All right, well, good luck to you. Have fun in this
Yeah,
2 hour race. Hopefully, it's gonna be hours and not.
yeah,
Let you
for
go for
sure.
now. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that was McLaren Tim. He's qualified alongside JK in LMP1 first row. These two are gonna battle for the overall lead unless something happens. They have a good gap to everybody else. Let's see who else do we have. Oh,
Hmm.
Herb, this is broadcast booth. Do you hear me?
Oh my god, I was drinking. I didn't think I'd be pulled in.
Hello there.
Hi.
So qualify not exactly too successful, but we noticed that you have switched to a Porsche at the last moment from the Corvette. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
what happened.
I was supposed to be in the Corvette, but I've not really had much time to practice because I'm at university and it just felt too unstable for me to drive. Trempel is a lot better driver than me and he seems to be able to do a lot better pace with it, but I just couldn't complete a lap or 2 laps consistently, so the last thing I wanted to do was be in an unstable car that I couldn't trust driving around other people. So even though I'm slower, the RSR feels a lot safer. So yeah.
Okay, well, this is still, even if small, it's still an endurance race, so slow and steady might give you something. Did you feel the car just coming to you as you did a few extra laps in the qualifying?
The Porsche felt better. Obviously, I didn't do the Corvette in qualifying, but I did it in the practice, and it just, like I say, if I tried to do that in the Corvette, I wouldn't have been able to complete those laps, or I would have ran wide or something like that. The only thing I did notice with the Porsche is that it was understeering quite heavily in Sector 2, a lot more than the Corvette was. So whether or not it was a good choice, I don't know.
Okay, and the last one, you'll be starting at the tail end of GT Field, and
hmm
you're gonna have basically three classes in front of you pile into turn one. I just discussed this with Tim, who will have, well, less traffic in front of him, but more charging behind him. From the more of a back market driver on the grid, what's your plan for turn one?
Not die.
That is fair.
I mean, I've nearly kept dying in practice and qualifying, so I don't think I've come all this way playing it safe to die in turn 1, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see indeed. Well, good luck to you. Back and on the race.
Thank you.
Alright, let's see if we can pull another driver in. See. Oh, there, broadcast booth. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was an interesting qualifying. Trading fast laps with Walker. Rather close between you two. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what happened really. I think Walker had some technical issues, which was quite a shame. And beforehand, I sort of knew that Walker was faster than me. It was just in practice that I'd done some quali laps, and they came out pretty well. I think Walker wasn't pushing to the limit there. So yeah, I knew that I was probably going to come second, but I thought, let's just give it a go. And then I don't know what happened, but in that last run that I did, apparently I took about 3/10 of my PB up until that point. So I was really surprised by that. There was probably a tenth or so more into it, but I don't think I could really have got onto pole from there.
Okay, still close to the leader. It's a long race, and well, I've asked everybody so far the same question. And what are your plans for turn 1? You're gonna be somewhere in the middle. You're gonna have prototypes probably miles ahead of you, so hopefully I'm gonna have some clear track. Are you gonna try to take the lead in turn 1, or just hold station and try to fend off the...
Probably fending off will be the better option. Like I said, I think Walker's a bit faster than me, so I don't think it would make a lot of sense to hold him up. And yeah, I'm probably going to try and make it a very long first stint to see where I can get the car, and from then on sort of plan the strategy out. So it'll just make sense to take it easy in the first part. And yeah, just not, get spun around in turn 1 or something.
Yeah, that's, well, knowing GT traffic and turns 1, chances are 50-50.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, all you can do is try, right?
Very fair. Well, thank you for that, and I'll let you get back. Good luck with your race, and hopefully we meet here both in one piece in 2 hours and a bit, ready to chat.
Yeah, hopefully. Good luck to you too.
That was a Photon Burst, who is going to be starting on the front row in GT class. So we're going to be having about 10 more minute countdown as everybody is... everything is starting to get ready for the actual race. The drivers are slowly donning on their fire suits, getting ready to get in the cars, and finally start driving. In the middle of the wonderful Styrian Alps, near the small city of Spielberg, this beautiful Red Bull Ring is about to host a 2-hour endurance WEC race for Phoenix Racing Club. 22 cars lined up on the grid, waiting for the lights to go out for the solo formation lap, after which the drivers will press hard on the throttle and go like hell for 95 or so laps. Over 4-kilometer long track that they'll have to navigate of 10 turns, 7 right and 2.5 left. This track hosted the F1 Austrian Grand Prix 3 separate times on 3 separate configurations of the track. This is the 3rd iteration saved by Dietrich Mateschitz after this track was basically abandoned and destroyed by nature in 2011. It reopened, and ever since it's been hosting motor racing, including this beautiful race. with lots of great machinery ready to pounce, with just under a minute to go for the formation lap. We will be able to see cars going around 10 turns. Some of them are going around the concert venue that hosted many festivals and rock tours, including AC/DC, the Rolling Stones, actually twice, and Bon Jovi. But this is irrelevant. All is relevant is the WEC race, the LMS race that was hosted here first in 2013, but now in 2019 in Sim Racing World. Phoenix Racing Club is having lights on the formation lap, and formation lap is a go in a moment when I move my car out of the way. Drivers are slowly heading out. A few GT cars are taking a little bit to get going. Drivers are warming up their tires. They've been standing on the grid for quite some time. They will need those cars at a maximum performance here when they go green in just a minute or so. 2 hours of racing on this beautiful racetrack of LMP1, LMP2, GT Pro and GAM class, which are split terribly on your screens right now. JK is going to be leading the pack for LMP1. Further back we have, trying to navigate. Oh yeah. Okay. There is the LMP2 field headed by Games, followed by Nemedis and Viperian 3-car field. The GTE field is led by Walker, who is finally ditching his German roots to get the car going in his native Dutch colors, the 038 entry. And the GT3 field with a great lap by Neon Tiger, the number 12 Ferrari, is gonna be leading the field for GT3. But meanwhile, JK preparing to take the green, set in the formation, and the cars are go. JK starting the race, followed by a McLaren team. Everybody is nice and calm, and here's the rest of the carnage. The LMP2 field starting. Easy start for them, but behind them, the GT class, they're going 3 wide behind. Cranker with Trempel and KRS navigating turn 1. A bit of a difficult dive. Meanwhile, GT3 is all over the shop. Everybody is close together. Decker almost collides with a big-ass Nissan GT3, but everybody is able to go just fine. Photon and Freaky Eyebot side by side into turn 3, trading places. Not there yet for Photon. Back there we have Spot and JD14 duking for position in GT3 class. Behind them, Decker lost the place to Artery and is looking to take it back. Diving into turn 4, under brakes hard. Both of the drivers side by side. Artery is a little bit too deep and he loses the position. He might lose one to Echo, but no, he covers well. The GT field is hard and heavy going at it. The 24 Nissan GT3 will be struggling in the second sector. We'll see if Decker will be able to cut down on that and get another position. He's currently in a P20, which will be P6 in his class. So far, line of stern for these drivers. Back in the GTE field, Cranker, KRS, and right behind them, Burb are close to each other as the leaders slightly getting away from them. Now KRS is looking for a move into turn 1, decides against it, the 99 entry. Ooh, voice crack. It's fine. They're gonna head up the hill into the hardest braking zone on the whole circuit. Will the Porsche be able to outbrake its sister? It's attempting lockup and a successful pass. but there is a crossover. KRS is leaving the door wide open for Cranker, who is looking to stay inside into turn 4. Schlossgold, this is the better position. He dives deeper. Is he be able to hold the car? Yes, he will, and that's another position. McLaren team fills the fast lap on 1:15.2. The battle continues. The leaders are close to each other, as behind we see Spartan just tagging gravel a little bit. Meanwhile, in LMP field, JK and McLaren team still close to each other. Guns is in third, trying to keep an eye on both of them. JK goes a little bit too deep, and they're gonna be doing the mating dance of the Porsche 919 involving boosties. Tip looks right, Tip looks left. He's going around the outside, side by side. Our 2 leaders. There's no room whatsoever. For McLaren team, he has to settle back, and that might put him under fire from Gunsens. Maxi is a little bit back, as we see more racing at the end of the field. Decker made a mistake and lost out. He's now in last position. Viperian made a little bit of a mistake and let Niemedes through. Viperian is now close ahead. The GTE Pro class, led by Walker. These cars are not much slower than LMPs. As we head back to the battle of our leaders, Tim is looking left, right, over, under, through, or any magical way to get past Jackie, who is a little bit sideways, and that gives the prime chance to Tim, who takes the lead. Jackie might be under fire. He has to use a lot of boosters here to stay with Tim and stay ahead of Gunses. He does so. Team parks it on the inside a little bit, not giving any space to JK. This is going to be a 3-horse battle all the way through. Gunses is behind both of them, looking for a way to pass. Sam Brown is sideways on the track and has been passed by our leaders already. A spin for the solo Nissan GT3 entry, as our leaders are going to be catching the traffic already. This is a tiny circuit, and the LMP ones are fast, probably 14-15 seconds a lap faster than the GTE, so they're going to be catching up and beating out those guys like no one's business. We see Burb already on the pit lane as they start to navigate the traffic. Let's see if it's early pit. There's a little bit of damage on that Porsche. We'll see if it's the case of a stop or not, as Burb drops all the way to 21st place. Meanwhile, McLaren team has even a bigger gap, but will have to get through the entire field right now. He is navigating GT3s, no space whatsoever. They're all losing time behind traffic, but this is the name of the game on the first laps. Those fields are just rammed together. The LP1s, the leaders, finally get through the GT3 traffic for the first time. They will have yet another challenge in GTE. Now Gunses comes out of it. There is Maxi flashing his lights left, right, and center. There are GT3's going too wide in front of him. That's a massive dive from the LMP1 driver. That works out for the car 96. We have Viperian and Niemedes here, struggling a little bit as both of them are being swallowed up by the GTE Pro cars, which is interesting. Niemedes is on the grass and off the track. He's losing more places, dropping down all the way to 17th. Yikes. Meanwhile, James is the only one in no man's land, the only LMP2 that has not encountered any issues so far. Back to the leaders we go. That's JK and Tim clearing their way through the pack. They're now almost through the entire GTE field, and now they can resume racing between each other. We go to intervals. We see the gaps between cars. Cranker is close to Photon, followed closely by Trempel and KRS. We have Burp in GT overtaken Sam Brown in GT3. There is a 20-second gap to the next car, which is Decker fighting with Artery and Echo for position number 18. In GT, we have a battle between the Porsche and a couple of Corvettes. Porsche and a Corvette. Second one is no longer a thing, with Maxi slicing and dicing his way through. None of them have any regards for any sort of track limits, as evident. Okay then. Side by side between KRS and Champel. Champel seems to have found a little bit of extra pace over the Porsche. Oh, hello there. Looks like we have the first DNF of the day. We have Psychedelics out of the race, it looks like. No longer on the track. Oh, there's a wreck. There's a big wreck. LMP1 of Viperian, Trampel, KRS and Cranker all involved. Cranker is facing the wrong way, trying to spin the Porsche around. There's another car off. That's Nimedes. That's the second LMP2 entry. That's all happening in turn 3, Remus turn. Everything went wrong. KRS and Neon Tiger now in the battle. This is interclass battle. They're not close together, but this definitely hampered a couple of drivers. I don't know what happened there, but that was definitely not pretty. As we go to JK and Tim, who just lapping James for the first time. Ten minutes into the race, we've seen a bit of carnage already. It looks like Psychedelics is back on the pit lane, rejoining from the garage. The German is back, and he did not lose too much time in comparison. Looks like he's just half a minute back from Sam Brown in the Nissan. Obviously much further back from the impact. Now being lapped by KRS and about to be lapped by the GT3 leader Neon Tiger. Among this whole ordeal, he managed to stay calm and keep his lead. Spectating Nimedes, who is... Oh, hello. I missed something on the track as McLaren Tim is now down to second. JK made a pass stick. We saw that Tim was fastest, so there might be another overtake Bruno. I have no idea what happened there. But whatever happened, might have been some traffic issues. Traffic is going to be a big factor in this race. Him within a second of leader JK, who is trying to turn the jets on and put some distance between him and the American. With Gunses about 5 seconds back in P3. Maxi is holding on 10 seconds behind Gunses right now, though being outclassed by the rest of the LMP1 field. James is in the world of his own right now, 15 seconds ahead of the nearest GTE and a lap back from GT3. Looks like GT3 is the only class that has some sort of solid speed advantage over the rest of the classes, while LMPs are slightly faster than the GT traffic purely on their aerodynamic elements and the lightweight, but not by much, as we see, while LMP1s in the first 12 minutes already lapping everybody but their own kind. Closest battle right now with Spartan, KD14 and Cranker. Cranker being in a higher class car, but he has been collected in a big crash in turn 3 a few minutes earlier. They have the LMP cars approaching them. Really, really quick. Have another battle of brewing. Archery is on Echo's tail heading into the 10th and final turn of the circuit. Doesn't have a good enough run into the start-finish straight, but he has Decker behind him as well, so it's a 3-horse race. Echo is acting a bit of a mobile chicane as we're going 3 wide. Echo went outside, Artery went inside, Decker is trying to split them, he got one of them. He's looking on the inside, we're 3 wide again, and we have an LMP1 approaching. He better not join this party because this is going wild. No, he dives and gets all 3 of them. This is insane. Echo still maintains the lead in this battle, and we have status quo after these guys going 3 wide on the second straight. Wow, okay, lads, we are less than 15 minutes in and we are already going full haywire. Psychedelics seemingly having lots of issues. He's in the garage again. Don't have any more information on what is happening with the German driver currently, unfortunately. As we continue to witness the 3-way battle between Echo, Artery and Decker, the GT3 battle for the 4th through 6th position in the class. Decker is trying to draft. The Ferrari is almighty underpowered. He will need to pop out and make a pass stick into turn 3 too far back. The Audi is doing some good braking, but the Porsche 911 is holding both of them behind them. Psychedelics is out of the garage again. The German cannot catch a break. He might be rejoining the race momentarily. He's still in the pits. He's still present. Meanwhile, he made us slowly but surely making his way through GT3 traffic. Back ahead, he is about 15 to 20 seconds back of his next rival, Viperian, and that's about to be less than that as Viperian finds the wall out of turn 10, and the gap is gonna fall shortly. Tim was a couple seconds back of JK, but now he's back on the charge. We'll see if he maybe decided to save a little bit of fuel here and there, a little bit of charge, and now get back into the rhythm, or maybe JK was hampered a little bit by the traffic, but those two are together. We have a couple of stories developing here. Nemesis is looking for an easy overtake on the GT3 leader. This trio proceeds into turn 1 and on the back straight again. Looks like they are slightly done with the big crazy overtaking moves in 3 wide and looking to just settle in, get some speed up and catch up the car ahead, which will be JD14, who's 10 seconds ahead of this pack as we speak, and Burb is catching up 6 seconds back. Further in the field, Spartan is chasing the damaged car of Cranker. This is an interfield battle. The 29 Audi is a GPAM entry, with Cranker being in a Porsche 911 being a GT Pro driver. Back to the leaders, they're putting more laps on everybody but themselves. Gunzes and Max is slowly losing the grip on the front too, as they're doing their best to run away as fast as possible. They still keep track of each other. They're still within a second, and Tim, after losing the lead, is still within striking distance. We'll see if he'll be able to do something about it. We finally have an overtake for 17 as Echo missed, it looks like turn 1 a little bit, and Artery finally able to get through. Let's see if Deckers follows suit, but Echo in that mighty Porsche with a little bit of draft has the inside line. He has to brake deep there, too wide, and there's a bunt! There's a bunt. Decker sent Artery around, but that helped him. I'm not sure if he will be able to hold that position. That was clearly not on the track. They're side by side with Echo. Echo will need to brake deep here. They're still side by side heading into turn number 4, Schlossgold. Echo gets in deep, but the crossover attempt, they're still side by side with the LMP once trying to slice and dice between them. Tim thinks better of it. He does not risk going between and loses a lot of time. 2 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds to the leader. This battle hampered the leaders a lot. Happy Mate is getting past KRS. Decker is now 4 seconds back after that punt. He was slow to get out of there, and he's getting passed by Gunzes. These two are locked in a battle still. Echo lost the position, but still chasing Artery as they head into turn 10. They're gonna be overtaken by Gunzes again shortly. 118.8 for McLaren team. This delay cost him a lot of valuable time. Gunzes with good times at 117 flat, trying to navigate traffic. We are 20 minutes into this 2-hour race. We have Viperian closing in on Photo, and Nemedis is closing in on Trempel. So two LMP2 drivers, 12 seconds between each other, and Nemedis is slowly closing the gap. And there is Mr. Grinder, the guy who did not take the start. 8 laps back in the 4th LMP2 entry. Finally back on track from his technical difficulties. It's a very valiant effort, I gotta say. Even though the start was missed, get on track and try to do something. Cars might DNF, and it's still to see a pace, set a fastest lap, and to have fun. I have nothing but the respect for this number 20 LMP2 entry of Mr. Grinder as he tries to navigate his way through the GT traffic. And GT traffic ahead of him is another unlucky participant in this race, another German Psychedelics in a GT3 Audi. Had a couple of visits to the garage early on, now 3 laps back of the nearest car. Hopefully he is able to figure it out sooner rather than later. We'll see how this story develops, and Grinder is sideways. Rejoins behind one of the Porsches on the clear track. Just a little bit too greedy on the outside. It'll do it as Cranker is catching up to Neon, looking for a pass on the GTAM leader. He will need to be careful. Neon set himself a little bit of a gap to the second place spot, and these guys are not too far away from each other, so if Cranker wants to make a pass, he'll need to make it safely, but never mind, as Neon makes a little bit of a mistake, goes onto gravel out of route turn, and the gap is gonna be smaller now, just 1.5 seconds between him and Spartan. Spartan, the white and yellow Audi GTAM entry, would have definitely seen the issue and will have to push closer. He's not far away. So if he gets in that draft train, he might be able to catch up and pass the leader. Back in the lead battle, McLaren team is now 1 second back of JK again. Tim is the faster driver. He's slightly unlucky here. We'll see if he is able to catch and finally pass JK, as every time he is unlucky with the position, he is able to close that gap right back down. Brilliant effort by the Californian, but JK, the Norwegian, is still in the lead. The winner of Sebring 2 hours is in the lead of this race as well. Looks like Echo is slowly starting to lose the grip on Artery, who ends up being faster on pace. So this battle is about to be over, though Decker is slowly closing in on the Dane himself. Meanwhile, the LMP2 leader, James, is in no man's land. The next LMP2 is 48 seconds behind of him, even after a spin, so valiant effort for Viperian to stay, well, basically on the same lap as the leader after lots of horrid adventures. So he's slowly making his way through the pack. He just has Walker, the GT Pro leader, the 038 entry, in front of him, who has a 22-second gap to Freaky Eyeblock and Thornburst are close to each other. So Walker is running away with it, and here are the leaders coming through, and Tim is right here. Tim is looking. He is in striking range as we are 25 minutes into this race. As we see the positional changes, which don't say much to us, as they're clearly somewhat broken. Right, let's move straight through those. Oh, good job. Right, back to the most useful thing, the intervals for the time being. But the leaders do not have any interval between them. McLaren Tim is still able to sniff that rear diffuser of the sister Porsche 919 Hybrid. More traffic in front of him, that's Psychedelics. He's not locked in a battle. He needs to get out of the way, and he does so. Two leaders close to each other within a second again, and Tim is faster as Mr. Grinder in front of him, being a little bit of a nuisance, and it's a little bit more difficult to pass the fellow downforce cars in those sweeping left turns of 6 and 7, followed by 8, but they're managing to do so without many problems. Grinder having a little bit of connection issues, unfortunately, and there's a car facing the wrong way. Artery is off near the pit exit, and he loses places to both Echo and Decker, and is now under fire by Psychedelics, who's 3 laps down, and Grinder is in garage again. Looks like another connection issue for the German, unfortunately. Battle. Spartan is able to locate his target that's in the lead of GTAM battle. Behind them is the Flexbox LMP2 engine of games. He is not being in an incredible hurry right now, so he's picking his battles, as these two, the Audi and the Ferrari, are still locked in a battle for the GT lead, as James is making his way past right now. 5th overall and 1st in class for the LMP2 driver from Canada, the 42 entry. James is definitely the fast driver. He is the reigning LMP2 winner from Sebring 2-hour race, and we still have the leaders coming through as well. They're gonna navigate their way through James and through Neon Tiger. A little bit of flashy lights going at the moment. Looks like everybody is able to get through just fine, but a little bit of smoky brakes as they get to the next car. Oh, he got squeezed a little bit. Though no harm done, he's still chasing his target. Back as we look for the battle for P2 in GT Pro entry. That's Photon and Freaky Eyebot within a second of each other. Photon clocking half a second faster on the last lap for 28. Porsche entry is gonna be mounting an attack soon, I believe. Still trying to look out for the battle between the two leaders. I don't think anything crazy is going on there, as they're still between, still within a second of each other, but not trying an outright attack. Photon is looking comfortably set here as come back to Nemedis, who was trying to take KRS for 11th position of overall interclass battle, but went a little bit too wide into turn 3, has to send it down turn 4 with superior Orica brakes, and the 38 car is through and onto 11th, another 3.5 seconds to Trampale now. Team lost a bit of space to JK, but who didn't lose any space is Photon Burst, the Dutchman. Started second, now in third. He will need to pick up the slack as we are about to finish our first half an hour. They're going to be coming close to the Nissan GT3 entry of Sam Brown, who is in penultimate position in the class as they navigate the corners of the Red Bull Ring once again for the 22nd time for these drivers, which will be the 26th time for our leaders right behind them. Tim thinks better of it. He cannot dive and lose more time. He's now 3 seconds back, 3 wide in the class. Tim is losing a little bit of patience here. Every time he gets close to JK, he is losing time due to traffic. He cannot stay glued to the Norwegian, unfortunately, which would help him to just slice and dice through the traffic and make JK do all the hard work. There is a 3-second gap between them now because of that issue with the traffic. Team will have to do it all over again as we just passed the quarter mark of the race. That means I get to take just a little bit of a break as we take you non-stop side to side. My mic works. At Phoenix Racing Club, brought to you by us.
my wheels like, fuck you. I'm not turning. I hit the wall, but I hit one of the bones that I lost. Heavy damage, heavy damage. Don't try to kill yourself. GT3 again, GT3. He's fucking atheist. At least I think something bad happened to somebody in front of us. Lucky for Daytona. Checker flag. Fantastic jump, everyone.
Welcome back to 2 hours of Red Bull Ring in Phoenix Racing Club. While we were gone, a lot of things happened. Most of all, Photon Burst and Freaky Eyebot. Hello. Oh, it happened again. We might have another race interruption, as the technical difficulties plaguing us again, as we got assumed red flag. Looks like we're having technical issues right now, but the track is assumed to be red flagged at this moment. We will see if we will be able to restart the action at the first possible moment. Right now, all the track action is halted. Alright, welcome back. If you're still around, we are back at the Red Bull Ring after the extended red flag set. Back, cars are reformed and re-gridded and are ready to go back under the full course yellow condition to take a restart. We have hour and 10 minutes left on the clock in this race. Looks like we have lost JK, our leader, unfortunately, is unable to continue at this. We have full course yellow in effect in just under 2 minutes, after which we will proceed to follow the leader for a lap, after which the race will go green for the remainder of the race. Looks like we have 19 drivers on the grid right now. We have McLaren Tim, Maxa and Gunsis in LMP1, Games Imadas, Mr. Grinder in LMP2, Trempel, Walker, Photon, Freaky Eyebot, KRS, Cranker, and Burp in, and Barton and Tiger, JD, Decker, Archer, Sam Brown, and Psychedelics in G3. This is how the field is stacked up right now. There is Echo as well, just joining us. And this grid is about to take the flag. Who's honking? Crying out loud. Alright, the engines are on and we are about to proceed with the race restart at Red Bull Ring. Hour and 10 minutes on the clock as drivers take one lap under yellow flag conditions before we proceed under green. Looks like we have lost JK, we have lost Hyperion, and we have lost. I think that's about it. Looks like a couple of drivers unable to proceed with the red flag delay, but the rest are gonna continue going in these 2 hours of Red Bull Ring race as the sun slowly sets over Austria. So we'll have some darkness descending onto the track shortly. Will be some nighttime laps for the drivers, and the race will finish under the lights. We are almost halfway through the race. The LMP1 cars slowly peeling away from the rest of the pack. Let's see, this is stuck behind Maxi a little bit here. Let's see if this is gonna be any sort of issue for the Latvian. I assume he had to visit the pits before the red flag. Well, so the restart is gonna be commencing as soon as the leader exits the turn here. Maxi will have to slow down a little bit. And here is McLaren team going again, and Gunses attempts an overtake right here and there off the restart. Games controls the LMP2 restart. Walker behind him, a little bit of a clusterfuck as we are going 2x2 in GTE. KRS tried to get the position from Trempel. They're all going wide, they're 3 wide, 4 wide. Kind of getting through Freaky Ibot with Golden Burst. They had a big issue right before we went to the red flag conditions, and they're still going ahead right behind Walker. KRS breaking a little bit late, there is a little bit of puntage, but everybody survives for now. Freaky Ibot loses position. We have issues behind. A couple of cars went really wide, and we're still 2 wide, 3 wide. JD14 and Echo 51 side by side here. We have a bigger issue. Krunker has been punted, and Neon Tiger is ending up ahead of a few GTE cars. There's Trempel trying to get his way past Neon, and he does, but there are a few cars that lost positions there. Psychedelics has to let Krunker through. He's the faster driver. We have a few GT battles right here. Gunses and Maxi side by side ahead now to the turn 2. Gunses a little bit wide, and Maxi gets his position back, and we're getting right back into it as Arthur is chasing Neon Tiger. I see Spartan lost a few positions. There is another issue back there. Decker is sideways. The navy blue Ferrari is losing a lot of spots because of the spin. Freaky Ibot and KRS are locked in a fight for 9th position. Freaky Ibot going deep down the inside. Will he be able to stop in time? He does, and he parks it right in front of KRS, so the guy has nowhere to go. Neon Tiger lost a couple of positions now. Archery is ahead. Neon Tiger must have made a mistake behind him. Sam Brown and Spartan fighting for it into turn 4. Sam Brown goes deep with that VTEC power, but there's a heavy car to have to get to stop. He doesn't stop it well enough, and Spartan gets the position. He's on the inside. Cracker is behind them both. They're still going side by side. The Nismo is on the outside. He's fed. Oh, Cranker with a bunt! Cranker with a bunt to Spartan, and Spartan loses all the position. Cranker is a little bit too aggressive. Wobble on the inside by the Martini Porsche, and that's all she wrote for them. Spartan is all the way back in the field now. We proceed with the race. They're all still close together. Psychedelics and Echo side by side. Psych goes on the inside, trying to close the gap. They're still side by side heading into the last turn. Echo has to go wide, and there's no chance of an overtake here. JD14 is in the middle of that pack. that pack proceeds to battle. Nemandis is right behind Mr. Grinder for the LMP2. Goods is still stuck behind Maxi as McLaren team is running away with it fast. We have Sam Brown in a Nissan Nismo GT-R leading the pack as JD14 and Psychedelics going side by side into turn 2. Head towards turn 3 here. And looks like Psych is able to get the position back. JD14 dropping position very fast as Archery and Burp are fighting for it into turn 4. The restart brings us a lot of action. Archery drops to 13th place, but more importantly he falls right in front of Neon Tiger. Neon will be able to mount an attack on him if he wants to. JD loses the position to Echo now. Not a good restart for the Irishman. They're still side by side here. The race is far from over. JD gets the position back from Echo. Decker is kind of far behind, but spotted with a heavy car. Meanwhile, Burb, Archery, and Neon Tiger are locked in a battle. Neon passes Burb for 13th position. This is not what any of them want, as this allows Archery to just run away with it. On the inside is Burb. He will have the position into this turn. Does he overshoot? Yes, massively. But nobody cares about track limits there, as they all navigated just fine. In the GTE we have a 3-man battle. We have Kadba, KRS and Trampo within a second of each other. JD dropping back down even further, as we have Kranker getting a couple of positions from Burp and Neon Tiger both. Great return from car number 33, as he is now chasing Trampel. McLaren team is in the wall! Team is in the wall! It's turn 3, I believe. And he lost the lead. Maxi's in the lead now. Team made a mistake. And this is all to play for. Mr. Grinder made another mistake and is now behind Nemandis. Oh, this is flip the race upside down. The 919 white and purple Porsche is now chasing Gunses and Maxi. Gunses 1 second behind Maxi. And Maxi, for the first time this race, is in the lead. Oh, this is all going places. Lots of drivers shuffled back and forth. Team will now have to fight for his life here. Back in the GTE, Trepel still chasing KRS, that's still chasing Freaky Eyebot. They're all close together with Walker running away with Photon right behind him. Then Brown is chasing Psychedelics for 16th overall and podium in the class. Yaves is running away from Nemandis. Meanwhile, Neon Tiger and Burp still locked in a battle. They're in different classes, but they're still fighting for overall. As now Freaky Eyebot and KRS are in the fight. Freaky Eyebot on the outside. Lost the position. Will he be able to get it right back? Oh, there's a wobble from both of them. 99 car is crossing over. He's got to be on the inside for the next turn. Freaky Eyebot will have to go around the outside. The only winner in this scenario is Trepel, who just closed the gap to both of them. The number 88 car, Freaky Eyebot, lost the battle and is settling down, but now this pack is all together. Nothing between them. Goons is cutting the gap to Maxi to 1 second. This is for the lead as we are halfway through the race. 1 hour left on the clock as we have GT traffic slicing and dicing through. This is the leader. This is Maxi. He is running away as fast as he can, trying to put as many cars between him and Gunsis. Gunsis is now 1 second back. McLaren team will have to navigate this pack as well. He now cut the gap by 1 second already. My lord, the restart brings us a lot of action. The GTE battle rages on for third in class. There is McLaren team, get all three of them on the straight. He did not lose any time. Meanwhile, Gunsis keeps closing the gap. We have a battle for the lead. There is Gunsis. Maxi is right in front of him. He'll need to make a move stick, but he still has an hour to do so. Battle for the lead is still going on. Meanwhile, KRS, Rickyibot, and Trampel still locked in that battle with Walker and Photon running away. There is an attempt of an overtake for the lead as they pass one of the LMP2 entries. Gunsis is unable to make it stick. He has to dive down. Maxi is running away. He's trying to find all the traffic he can. Meanwhile, Echo losing a few positions. He's slow after a little bit of a spin off the last turn. Spartan is even slower. Some issues for the yellow Audis. He lets Echo back. Maybe there was a contact between them and there is just a redress. That is possible. Freaky Eyebot is losing KRS a little bit. But Trepel is sitting right behind him, waiting to pounce. DJ3 has quite a big battle. Most of the field is still close together, with Arteries running away with it, while Neon having Ranker in front of him and Bird behind him. The leaders are still close together. There is Gunsis. This is around to turn 2. He's looking. He will have the inside. He has the boosties. Maxi tries to counter it. He will break later. Maxi just able to stop the car in time. He still has the lead. And team is slowly but surely closing the gap in. It's now 4.5 seconds, 4.3 seconds. Guns is unable to take the lead. He might be faster in clean air. They're now behind James, but he's not able to make a move stick. Champel, same turn 2 is right behind Freaky Eyebot. He does not have the boosties. He will have to old school draft and dive on the outside, looking for a crossover. Won't find anything. The Corvette is a little bit clunky here. Echo loses the position to Spartan. They're side by side. This is for the last 20th and 21st position on the grid. But we have battles raging everywhere on the circuit. Even for the final place, it's still important. It's still prestigious. It's still side by side. As Echo goes round the outside, he will have the battle run into turn 4. Spartan is not exactly closing the gap, so Echo will have the inside line. If he is able to clear him by then, he does not have a lot of speed. He will have to dive. He does so, still side by side. If Cranker is able to hold the line, he will have the advantage. He is unable to do so. Will he be able? Yeah, he has to slot back behind Echo right now. Unfortunately, there's nothing he can do. Echo has that position back. Trampel is drafting like mad, popping out to make a pass on Freaky Eyebot. Not close enough. Maybe he ruined his run into turn 3 right here, as now he has to get brand new run. And he does so, but he's on the outside. Defense from Freaky Eyebot. Will he be able to go swoop around the outside and maybe cross over Porsche driver? He's on the outside. They both lock up. They both go through. And Trapper will need another run, and he does get it in turn 4, but I'm not sure it's close enough. This is a great battle between two drivers, two different cars, two different strengths, but ultimately exactly the same pace. Speaking of exactly the same pace, we have leader bunching up. There is Maxi, there is Goodson, 2 seconds back is McLaren team. He's cut into the gap. with solid speed. Echo is back in the last place, the man cannot hold the position. Trampel is still side by side with Freaky Eyebot. They go through the turn 7 and 8 chicane. They're still side by side, touching gravel. Oh, they're so close. They're almost touching, and Freaky Eyebot stays ahead for the time being. But he pushes wide. Trampel on the inside, will he be able to finish it off? They're side by side at the last turn, they touch. Oh, they're still side by side. They cannot go any higher. My voice does not go any higher than this, as they're still side by side for almost half a lap now. Ahead into turn 1. Will Trampel be able to outbrake? No! Freaky Eyebot swoops around the outside and keeps the position. Insane battle between the two GTE drivers fighting for 4th place. Gunsis finally gets through before turn 1, but he's a little bit wide. Maxi might be able to get a run back. He doesn't. He's back in the lead. Gunsis' lead lasted about a turn. They're still in traffic, but Maxi gets the lead back after Gunsis overshot his braking marker. Whoa! Everything is happening. JD14 catching Dakar here. They're gonna be tangled in fight once again. JD on the inside, looking for that pass on Dakar. They're still side by side. Dakar goes round the outside. There's gonna be a long straight, but that Ferrari seems to have the horses, seems to have the ponies to power out of the turn. Gunsis puts Cranker out of the way, trying to chase Maxi, who is taking no prisoners. Just finds the gap and shoots right through it. He does not have the fastest lap time, but he sure as shit does have the track position. We have 52 minutes to go in this race. Maxi is in the lead of the race, chased by Gunsis. Less than a second between our two leaders, and then are intertwined in the GTE battle as they're trying to overtake them without wasting everybody's time. A little bit of flashy lighting. Dakar is back in the garage. The Teal Ferrari having some issues there. Gunsis is still behind Maxi. He can see him, he can taste him, he cannot pass him as they go past Photon. Gunsis on the inside, he will not have the run here. Behind them, McLaren team lost a bit of time between GTE traffic. Is now 7 seconds back. He is the fastest car on track, but he keeps having traffic issues as KRS almost takes him out right here. In an LMP2 field, James is firmly in the lead, 17 seconds back is Nemanja, and 2 seconds behind Nemanja is Mr. Grinder. They're still close together. In the lead of GT Pro, we have Walker all by himself. 4 seconds back is Photon Burst. The Dutchman leading the GTE Pro. KRS is 7 seconds behind them after doing a sick drift moments earlier, with Freaky Eyebot and Trampel still close together, catching up to them. Cranker is 6 seconds back, trying to make a pass stick on Autry and does so. Now he's directly behind Trampel, 6 seconds. Yeah, looks like Dakar unable to get out of a garage right now. The last in the GT Pro field is Burb, who has Autry and Neon Tiger between him and the rest of them. Speaking of Autry, here is our GTE AM leader in an Audi, followed by Neon Tiger 9 seconds back. The American had the lead, lost the lead, and now he's losing time. Psychedelics, after having big issues early on, but able to get his laps back, and now he's all the way in the third. Behind him is Seb Brown, the lone Nissan GTR GT3 AM entry, number 24. Behind him, JD14 making the overtake stick on Spartan is in 5th position in class. Behind him is Spartan, the white and yellow Audi, who was challenging for the lead as one spot, now has to gain time back. And the last car on track is Echo 51, the white Porsche 911, back to the fight on the lead. We have Gunsis, Chase and Maxi. They are still close together. They refuse to let each other go, with the team still having to play catch up. Mr. Grider slowly closing the gap for the second position in LMP2, but this is the lead we're interested in, the LMP1, the overall lead. The boys are here to play, still under a second. As we continue, Maxi has to navigate traffic, as I believe Mr. Griner had another issue and is now back in the garage. He's plagued by technical issues. Looks like Decker is in the chat saying that his wheel has stopped working. The drivetrain issue for the GTE AM driver puts him out of contention. He might be able to rejoin. I'm not sure, but definitely lost time and lost laps. Neon Tiger had a little bit of an issue, and now he's under fire by Psychedelics. I noticed Burp getting bad, but I thought it was just an overtake. No, Neon Tiger has some front end damage, and he is now under fire from the German in the Mass Effect Audi entry. He's looking for the pass, but behind them, look behind you, there are two leaders. Nothing between them. As they breeze through one, they breeze through two. Neon Tiger is in his own battle, but he has to give way to the leaders. They're both far behind from Archery. Archery is now free to just cruise home unless something magical happens. These two are gonna be fighting. Trempel lost some time from Freaky Eyebot, now 4 seconds. But no time is lost here. The two leaders, and there is the white and purple LMP1 entry of Tim. Now 4.5 seconds back, it was 7. Team is flying through the traffic again to recapture these two. If Team wins this race, this is gonna be the hardest fought victory he'll ever have, but before that he has to get there and he has to pass both of them. Gunsis is fast, but he's unable to make a pass stick. Neon Tiger and Psychedelics out of a turn 1, looking for another side-by-side moment. Psychedelics is just settling behind Neon Tiger for now. Looks like if they continue doing that, Sam Brown might catch up to them in an instant to make it a three-way dance. So for now, they need to settle down, lose the Nissan, and then restart their battles. Speaking of battles, these two are still going at it. many laps. They're still going at it, the two leaders, Maxi and Gunsis. They were there ever since the restart, and Tim spun on his own without the two drivers participating. So this has been a fight ever since the green flag restart. Maxi is having arguably a more difficult job right now. He is acting like a cleanup crew for Gunsis. He's get the cars out of the way. Gunsis just dives in the open space. Unless something like this happens when there is too big a gap, like 7 tenths, and Gunsis cannot do that. 19 cars still on the track. 3 LMP1s, all of them within 7 seconds. Tim again lost some time. He's still losing time. He's stuck behind a Corvette. Tim has been way too timid. He needs to push. He needs to push people out of the way. He needs to move. He's the fastest car, but his entire progress has been nullified. We have a battle for the lead. Gunsis does not dive yet, but Maxi is going wide. There might be an attempt of an overtake. They're side by side. Gunsis goes past. Gunsis goes to the lead. And now Maxi will have to attempt a re-overtake on the inside with a lot of boosties. He does it. And Gunsis still unable to make a pass stick. Battle for the lead. Gunsis tries the inside. Maxi covers. Gunsis goes in. He is not alongside. He's just alongside. Will Maxi be able to hold on? He doesn't. He tries to cross over. He is way too sharp. He is sideways. Will he be able to hold on? He needs to make something. Gunsis is in the lead. Finally, Gunsis is able to get past Maxi. And Maxi is all kinds of out of shape, trying to hang on. He needs to settle down. A little bit of calmness. He can't stay with Gunsis. He can repass. Anything can happen in this traffic. But Gunsis, it took him over 20 laps to get there. But he finally gets there. And we have a new leader. New leader number 000 entry. LMP1 Porsche, driven by Gunsis. Oh my, this has been a race and a half, and we still have just over 40 minutes of this. This is a lot of racing still to be had, and we still have racing battles. One of those is Psychedelics and Neon Tiger fighting for the second place in the AM class. Losing Sam Brown, as I said, to settle down a little bit. Losing the Nissan in the process, who is now being caught up by the Audi Sport JD14 entry, car number 65. Let us remind that he finished second in the Sebring 2-hour race in his class. He knows what he's doing. He's a fast driver. So we'll see what will happen here. They're still close together. Anything can happen. Maxi is still closing in on Gunsis. 40 minutes left in the race. There is Maxi. There is Gunsis. Nothing between them. The role reversal now. Now it's car 96 is chasing the 000. And still, McLaren team has to chase them down. He has to work a lot. He has to be fast. Fields are still relatively close together over the place. We have battles raging on. Maxi losing a little bit of pace, but we know the guy can drive. We know the guy can hold. He needs to use some distractions from the lap traffic. We have a little bit of hiccups here and there from a server. Hopefully it holds up, but I don't think we're gonna be able to go green once again if we red flag it. The race continues. JD14 is closing in a lot on the Nissan entry. He's gonna be in the attack range, but here come the leaders. Gunsis won't be able to get both of them, but neither will Max. He will have to slice and dice. Gunsis is stuck behind the Nissan. He'll have to wait. And there is an opportunity for Maxi to get back to him, get some boosties, and get past. There's just a few tenths between them. Team is also happy about how this all transpires. He got about a second back from that. Battle rages on. There is Neon Tiger, who got a little bit of gap from Psychedelics. The leaders are passing the battles on the track. The next car is 11 seconds ahead of him, so a little bit of clean air. An opportunity for Gunsis to get away. An opportunity for Maxi to get a run. There is a slow LMP2 entry of Nemetis rolling through. I guess he was just letting leaders through because he's right back on his base. We're closing in on evening time. We still have 40 minutes to go. Back with the leaders again, 1 second between them. Tim is now 6 seconds back. Neon Tiger got passed by Psychedelics. He has to mount a return attack for the second in the class. Meanwhile, behind, JD14 in an Audi, caught up to Sam Brown in a Nissan entry. So this is gonna get dicey in the next few minutes. Gunsis is finally able to get a little bit of a gap established. He now needs to run away from Team. He's slightly slower on pure pace, but Team needs to crank it up if he wants to get there in time. Still about 8 seconds between him and the leader. That's a lot. Proceed with the battle for the 4th place in the GTAM class. With 35 minutes to go, JD14 is looking to get past Sam Brown. A little bit of sideways movement, no big deal here. Looking at Team's fastest lap. Fast lap is 1:15 flat. The next best lap is Gunsis' 1:16.3, 1.3 second difference. This is a lot, and Tim needs to find that pace, needs to find some open air to get there, because the time is slowly winding down. We're just over half an hour left in this race. Less and less time. Meanwhile, Trempel caught back up to Freak Eyebot. This battle is gonna resume any second now. Neon Tiger is getting close to Psychedelics. This battle is also raging. We are all tied up in multiple places looking for this track action. As we have 35 minutes left, we're gonna go to our final commercial break before the most interesting half an hour of this race. Do not switch the channel. The most interesting yet to come. And we have to go back from that break a little bit early, as looks like we are under red flag conditions again. Big issues right here, as looks like we are stopped once again with under half an hour to go. I'm not sure if we'll be going green again. Ooh, yeah, it's another issue. Yeah. I'm not sure it will be classified. A few drivers in the pits. Oh, definitely not happy times, right? We are awaiting official confirmation on what is gonna happen with the race. So it looks like, as the official standings go, that will have to be the end of the race. The rest of it will run in test mode, as this is a test race after all, and I believe it will not be red flagged for a regroup again. So this is counted as the red flag, which will signify the end of the race. With technical issues, unfortunately we'll have to end half an hour early again, and unfortunately there will not be an opportunity for the interview here. I am not exactly sure what is going on, but on behalf of the Phoenix Racing Club, we apologize for technical difficulties. And on that note, this is assumed to be the end of the race. Further updates are going to be provided through the relevant information on the website and Twitter regarding the final standings as they are being set. And I believe on that note, it's gonna be the right time for me to say goodbye. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, apologies for technical difficulties and an abrupt end to the proceedings. On that note, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. And this, in a couple of seconds, when I find the right buttons. Hold on. Almost there. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is